of you. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to your future self. So exciting. I'm going to bring you into a meditation first. So just begin to get yourself settled and relaxed into wherever you are. And we'll begin. So happy to see you all. So just start by taking a deep breath into your beautiful, beautiful body. And just while you're holding at the top, stretch out anything that needs to stretch. Maybe your shoulders have got some stiffness. Maybe your chest, maybe your jaw. And take a deep breath out. And then once again, take a deep breath in. Holding at the top. Give your attention to anything that needs a stretch. We want to be just letting go of anything that's holding on to anything. We want to arrive completely free, completely loose, completely relaxed, open and ready to receive whatever wishes to radiate through. And take a deep breath out. Now this time, take a deep breath into your lungs, holding at the top and placing your hands on your heart. And you're just going to hold. And you're just going to wait until you can begin to feel your heart beating in your chest, knocking at the palm of your hands. It's reminding you it is there. It is knowing. It is wise. And it is bringing you life. And take a deep breath out. Now with each breath in, you're going to let your spine rise and fall. You're going to let your shoulders gently rise and fall. And with each breath, you're going to move deeper and deeper into relaxation, into a softness, into a release, into a relief. I want you to imagine that beautiful warm blanket descending down from the heavens. And as it gently lays over you, starting at the top of your head, your whole body is going to begin to soften, to warm, to relax, to release, to let go. Your forehead softens, your eyebrows, your eyes, your cheeks, your nose, your lips, your jaw. Feel it making its way down your neck, into your shoulders, warming, softening, relaxing your shoulders, making its way down the top of your back, the top of your chest, down your arms. And as this beautiful warm wave gently washes over your heart, you feel your whole heart, all of the walls, that may have sprung up around it unconsciously, all of those walls begin to dissolve, to descend, to fade away. And as they dissolve, as they retreat, as the division gets smaller and smaller, you feel the most beautiful unity growing between your heart, your mind, and your body. They are like long lost friends who've been behind walls from each other, unable to see each other, hear each other, communicate. And now they're back together. They embrace each other with so much love, so much joy. One complete whole. And with this unity comes a deeper relaxation down your body. A relaxation that comes into your stomach. There's a letting go of all of the muscles. A relaxation in your sit bones, in your thighs, in your knees, your calves, your shins, your feet. Everything has let go. And with each breath, you feel yourself arriving here, arriving now. Nothing to fix, nothing to change, just presence, just being. And as you breathe, begin to imagine yourself in a forest. The air is crisp, filled with the scent of pine and earth. You feel the coolness of the soil beneath your feet. Shafts of golden sunlight pierce through the trees, lighting your path. You're walking with ease, being drawn deeper and deeper, as if the forest knows you. As if something important is waiting. And up ahead, through the trees, you see a soft glow, a clearing. And at the center of that clearing stands a tall, ancient mirror. Framed in the most beautiful gold and carved with images and symbols you don't recognize, but somehow seem so familiar. It's no ordinary mirror. It does not reflect who the world says you are. It doesn't reflect the stories or the past. It reflects who you truly are. Step closer to that mirror. And when you feel ready, look into its reflection. You see a version of you staring back at you. Shining eyes, grounded, filled with light, radiance. They've already become everything you dreamed of. They're living in alignment, in purpose, in perfect peace. They are you without any of the stories, without any of the baggage. Pure. Truth. Wisdom. Light. You look into their eyes. There's no doubt, no fear. Only knowing. Only truth. Notice how they stand. Notice the energy they radiate. Breathe it in. This is not someone separate from you. This is you. The real you. This is your essence. They begin to speak to you. Let them tell you whatever you need to hear right now in this moment. Now they reach their hand towards the glass. And you do the same. And as your palms touch, the mirror begins to glow and dissolve. There's no separation. You're completely merged. Their energy lives in your breath, your skin, your bones, your speech, your heart, your actions, your pen, your love. You feel taller, calmer, clearer, stronger, more you than ever before. Breathe into this. Let it anchor in your heart. Let it take root in every cell. And when you feel ready, you can slowly begin to bring yourself back to the room, ever so slowly. And as you do so, keep your eyes closed. I'm going to share a few questions with you. I'll also pop them in the chat. From this version of me, what do I know to be true? From this version of me, what do I know to be true? What would I do if I fully trusted myself? What would I do if I fully trusted myself? What am I being asked to release in order to become who I already am? What am I being asked to release in order to become who I already am? I'm going to pop those questions in the chat, and when you feel ready, you can just take a pen and paper and write down what's coming to you. You know, I'm going to invite you to write one goal down. So this may be the goal that you identified when you did your being bridge. Or it may be a goal that now is more refined to you, that's really on your heart, but something that's really specific, something that feels really beautiful and exciting and interesting and alive, something that gives you aliveness. Write that goal down as a power statement. So keep it very, very simple. So for example, for me, it would be, which is what I wrote down on my being bridge a while ago, to have 500 people in the field by the end of 2026. That's very precise. It feels very doable in the quantum field. So I want you to think of that goal and write it down as a power statement, but I want you to write it down from the perspective of it's already done and you are merely showing gratitude for it. So I am grateful that, and then your goal. You're already grateful that it's done. This is for two reasons. One, when we write down our goals, we're more likely to achieve them, scientifically, 42% more, or research. But two, doing it from the point of gratitude is you're already showing faith that this is already done. In the quantum field, it already exists as a possibility, as a complete possibility. It's already there. So our highest praise can be one of gratitude. So write that down. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes once again. Just come into that state of relaxation again. Just taking a few deep breaths. I'm going to invite you to speak that statement out loud to yourself. You're all on mute. So I'm so grateful that, and then the goal, the completion of this goal. Read that out silently to yourself. And now place your hands on your heart. And I want you to really feel into that goal being completed. Really imagine that you've just jumped forward in time and space, and you are at this exact place where that goal has been created. And I want you to imagine, what does it feel like? Now we're going to hold that goal lightly. If there is a bigger plan for us, then we will welcome in the bigger plan. It's not about the goal. It's about who we become. It's about the energy that is radiating from us, the energy that has gone into other people, the shift in consciousness and creation around the world. Feel into that. That is what you can have right now. That is the energy that is going to collapse time and bring those goals forward. How does it feel in your body? Breathe into that version of you. See it unfolding before your eyes. How do you feel as them? What changes in your body? What's the sensations? What does that version of you radiate? Feel it viscerally. Notice the emotions. This is the level that we get to play at. This is the energy that we get to move from, to create from. Not in 3 months' time or 6 months' time or 3 years' time. This is the energy that we get to create from today, right now. Now, from this energy, what is one thing you are being urged to do today from this energy? Sit quietly just for a moment or two, and then if you want to take a couple of notes, do that. But what's one thing that you'll do today from this energy, from this expansion? Hey, beautiful people. I would love to know what came through for you. You can stick it in the chat. We can have a few shares as well. What came through for you from this energy? What shifts are you feeling and making from this energy? Like, does it feel different? And what's the one thing that you're going to move forward with today? Are we all blissed out? Okay, good. All right, we're all blissed out. That's fine. Okay. So yesterday we began studying a book. I'm gonna pop it in the chat. I did pop it on. It's Vernon Howard for some of you that were not here. It's called Action Power. It might have a longer title. It's a very old book. So I don't know if you'll manage to get your hands on a hard copy. You may do, but otherwise it is definitely on Kindle. But we're gonna start going through the book, and it's a really great book because it will just get you into action. Like you will want to get into action. Could only find a digital version. You will want to get into action. Like I promise you, reading this book. But what we covered yesterday, there's essentially there's 12 chapters and it's 12 different types of action. So the first chapter, for example, starts with daring action, which is super fun. Like we can all do with more of that in our life. But he asks you as you go through to take a note of three things. One is what I want. So just very simple. What do I want? What is it that I want to create? Whether that's something outside of you or it's more confidence, or I think the examples that he gave was to lose my timidity. And then as you go through, you're going to start writing my actions for winning it. And you're going to write 5 different actions. And then he spoke about inspiring ideas. So always taking note of inspiring ideas, not ideas that feel like shoulds or that's what everyone else does, but ideas that actually inspire you, that actually like wake you up and like bring aliveness and get the cells in your body excited. So just sit back and relax. I might just cover the last bit of what we covered yesterday. But he began by talking about inaction versus action. And I actually love this definition. Just bear in mind it is an old book. He says, what is inaction? That's when you watch someone else kiss the girl. What is action? That's when you step up and kiss the girl yourself. So that is what we're doing, peeps. So he says the really thrilling life is one where you personally take part in everything pleasurable. One of the saddest realizations a person can have is that he is not actively participating in his own life. And if you know Michael Beckwith, he often talks about just participating in your own unfoldment. Be a participant in it. Don't be in the stands watching in the spectator stands. Actually play on the field. Hit the frigging ball. Catch the ball. Get hit. Fall over. That's where we want to be. Later in this chapter, he's going to give us 6 magic words, which will place us in the very center of richly rewarding action. The happy truth is, no one needs to be left out of life's riches. One woman who discovered this truth told me, for a long time, I've been enviously observing life from a distance, but I'm all through with that. From now on, I'm going to live. So that is the invitation. We are not going to be observing life from a distance. We're getting on the field. we are getting on the field. I'm not going to read the book word for word. I'm going to go through some parts of it. But he talks about Cleopatra as a great example. I think it's bloody brilliant example. Um, okay, you probably remember a few things about the fabulous beauty Cleopatra, Queen of the Nile. At one time, she was in lively competition with her brother for the throne of Egypt. To add to her problems, the Roman armies of Julius Caesar had just landed in Alexandria. Conquest and loot were their first objectives, but Cleopatra was clever. She reasoned that if she could reach Caesar ahead of her brother, she could win the Roman ruler over to her side of the fence. So this is what she did. She basically did something that Caesar would never forget, and she wrapped herself in an oriental rug and had herself carried to Caesar's headquarters as a gift. The rug was a gift. This says the shapely princess was unrolled at Caesar's feet, and what a dramatic meeting that was. The Roman ruler was delightfully impressed with her, and basically pretty much handed Rome over to her on the spot. So obviously, you do not need to be wrapping yourself in an oriental rug, but what we want to do is start thinking really creatively about what do we want to create? What like awesome, crazy actions can we start taking to give more life to our ideas, to our creations? We don't have to take the boring path that 99% of other people take. We can take the I'm going to wrap myself in an oriental rug and go win Rome path. Um, so the Queen of the Nile knew a thing or two about successful action. For one thing, she knew what she wanted. Another thing, she knew the secret of persuading other people to her way of thinking. Finally, the energetic Egyptian enchantress used a type of action that wins when all else fails, daring action. So, okay, what are you getting from this so far? Just drop it in the chat. What are you picking up? I know it's early. I know it's late, but we're here, peeps. We're here. Um, an urge to make things happen. Awesome, bold, creative from the field. The way we think is what creates the action we take. Doing, being, V's watching, participating in my life. Yes. Believe, behave, become, get creative. We'll be putting this into action as well. The other thing that I want to just say about these calls is I know, like, for example, there's different prompts, there's different things that we're looking at. The main purpose of them is not for you to remember every answer that you've ever written down to every prompt or whatever. The main thing is in each of these calls, what's happening is your ego is getting shaken loose. Little bit by little bit, it's getting shaken loose. So don't be clinging on to, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do the home. No, 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 no. The main point here is just the ego is getting shaken loose, getting shaken loose. This beautiful butterfly within you is emerging. This is the process that's happening. Let's see what else we've got. Be bold, show up fully for your vision, be ready to take action from creativity, fun and outside the books, doing without doubt, have fun, be light, laugh with life, be agile, live beyond horizons. Oh, beautiful. Okay, your happiness in action. Another type of action needed by everyone is the kind supplying inner peace. It's no good making $1 million if your heart aches, or being the president of your company if you're enslaved by agonizing emotions. Happiness is in action, and every power is intended for action. Human happiness, therefore, can only be complete as all the powers have their full and legitimate play. In many important respects, it would appear that action, particularly when it takes the form of creative, intensely absorbing activity, is one of the mainstays of human living. Genuine action gives you the double value of exterior prosperity and inner quietness. So often what happens with us is we get a lot of conflict when we wish to be somewhere, we wish to create something, but we're not taking the action towards it. And then we get this internal fight going on and we feel really yucky and bad. That's what's happening. We are, we're being and doing beings. We're constantly in movement, constantly in flow. And when we get stuck, it's because we're just repeating the same thing, whether that's the same energy over and over and over again. We're not moving it. We're designed to move. Everything in nature is in flow. Always. Nothing hoards, nothing is stagnant. Everything is always in flow. So when you plunge into genuine action, you get right results. When you act wrongly, you get wrong outcomes. It's as simple as that. Genuine action is the final secret of successful living. So tell me what you're picking up from this so far. What we'll do is as we go through, we'll begin to put this into action properly. So we'll do challenges and things. So like as we're going through, we'll have a challenge about daring action and we'll see what kind of crazy daring actions we're taking. Procrastination pattern for me is taking me out of the present into the future and saying, when you do this thing, it'll be hard, blah, blah, blah. When I just do the thing in the present moment, I'm living a life doing, that is amazing and beautiful. Our mind will always project into the future. I mean, we've talked about this before, but our mind will always project in the future what we haven't forgiven from the past. But if it wants to keep us stuck, it's going to make whatever our goal is seem really, really hard, like Kaya said. Like, honestly, I knew that I wanted to get up and do more of these morning calls. You wouldn't believe what a drama my mind made out of that. Like, oh, you're never going to be able to do it. You'll be so exhausted all the time. Like, and it just made it so hard that I was just like, well, I don't think I should do that then. But at the same time, obviously, I'm not listening anymore. But it is an absolute drama queen. The to-do list, it's in the future, it's draining drama. Totally is. Heart-inspired action is the way to live in true freedom and authenticity. It is the only way. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to read a little bit more and then we'll wrap up. We all need exciting action. Who do you suppose needs more action? You, I, everyone. All of us need the magic power of exciting action if we're to live happily and productively. We must have it every day in variety. Life is action. Our own need for richer action causes us to respect those men and women who act. I think this is so true. Notice how we admire people who get things done. We look up to the business executive who plows through difficulties to establish a financial kingdom. We admire the artist or musician who creates a lasting work of art. We recognize and appreciate the acts of parents who guide their children or the teacher who patiently trains young minds. In a lighter note, we even admire this type of action. He floats through the air with the greatest of ease, the daring young man flying on the trapeze. His actions are graceful, all the girls he can please, and my love he has stolen away. That's clearly a poem. So we're just moving into action constantly. Act up, he says. There are delightful surprises awaiting the man who will simply plunge into persistent action, more action, energetic action, any action. And one of these surprises he names to begin with is serendipity. So Now he's talking about serendipity and synchronicity and all of the miracles that begin to unfold as soon as we take action. So as soon as we get into action, as it says, energetic action, inspired action, at the end of the day, any action, this is when the miracles start occurring, the serendipitous person that we meet. Yeah, and again, we talked about this the other day. Sometimes the action that our heart is urging us to do is not go and do this big, massive business thing. Sometimes it's go and eat a croissant at that cafe. Why? Because maybe you sitting at that cafe, you will be sat opposite someone that you start talking to and that opens something up. Or maybe you just needed to sit there and like witness the grace of life once again and get really present overlooking the ocean. So don't question the action that our heart is being urged to do, because your ego will always come in and say, yeah, but that's not good enough. Yeah, but you should be doing the big things and going after the big goals. Ignore it. That's just conditioning from the past. We're seeking a different path, one that invites real miracles into our life. So we'll wrap up there. I would love to know what feels like it would be genuine, super fun for you to act on today. And please stick it in the chat. In that future self energy. Do less. Love it, Kaya. I love it. Last week, I can't remember when we had our last call. Wednesday. The only message I was getting was rest. That's what I did for the rest of the week. Rest. I didn't do any work. PA. Be curious. Connecting with some people on my mind. Beautiful. Patience. My future me that I saw today just laughed and said, you're not risking anything. You know now. Act and be brave. Wonderful. Journal. Brilliant. Brilliant. I'm building my business. Beautiful. All of these, the worst thing that you can do is take this and then question it and be like, oh, yeah, but that's not enough. Or whatever it is. Don't question it. Do it. Make choices. Today I will share one soul aligned message, written or spoken, from the energy of it is done, not to convince but to transmit, not to sell but to serve and resonate. Oh, beautiful. Got 5 calls: reading, walking, moving, meditating in between. That's the day. Beautiful. Wonderful. Okay, we will wrap up there. Thank you so much. Sending you so much love. Have the most beautiful, inspired, wonderful, energetic day or night. And see some of you tomorrow. Lots of love.